It started like most stories of mistaken identity do, with a man sitting quietly in a place he owned, being treated like he didn't even belong there. Cameron Wade leaned back in a flimsy breakroom chair, adjusting the frayed navy windbreaker he'd picked up at a thrift shop 2 towns away. His beard was fuller now, tinged with gray from a box-dyed job he'd done himself in a truck stop restroom. His hair, usually cropped and professional, had grown out uneven, scraggly. The thick-rimmed glasses made his sharp, observant eyes look dull. Here in the employee break room of Haven Mart number 24, he was just another name tag. No one recognized him, not the staff, not the manager, not the security guard standing at the front with his arms always crossed. And that was exactly how Cameron wanted it. 9 years earlier, he had bought the floundering Haven Mart chain, discount grocery stores in underserved neighborhoods, often overlooked by flashier competitors. The goal was simple: affordable food, dignified service, and jobs for people who needed a fair chance. He cleaned up the stores, modernized systems, increased pay, and watched the chain grow from the inside out. But lately, something was off at store number 24, deep in the working-class side of the city. Not just sagging sales or inventory mishaps, though those were happening too. It was the culture. Employee exits had doubled in 2 months. Customers were walking out empty-handed. Cameron had dispatched his district manager twice. The reports came back polished and vague. Too clean. So now, under the alias of Jason, a supposed transfer from a nearby branch, Cameron had taken a stocking shift. No special treatment. No clipboard. Just a vest 2 sizes too big and a mop he'd been handed without so much as a greeting. Jason, a sharp voice barked from the breakroom door. Get your vest on. Truck's late. Let's go. That was Malcolm Rourke, the store manager. Broad-shouldered, perpetually irritated, all bark and no warmth. Cameron had watched him for an hour before shift, listening as Malcolm spoke to employees like they were problems to solve, not people to support. Orders, not guidance. Discipline, not leadership. Got it, Cameron replied, sliding on his vest. The morning dragged. They were understaffed again. Only 2 cashiers handled the front while a skeleton crew stocked shelves. Among them was a young woman with tied-back braids and a focused glare. Her name tag read Kira L., and she moved twice as fast as anyone else in the building. Kira, Malcolm shouted from aisle 9, less talking, more stacking. She didn't respond, just kept working. By noon, Cameron's back ached, not from the labor, but from watching how carelessly these people were treated. He excused himself for a break, slipping out onto the loading dock steps. Kira joined him, sipping from a dented water bottle. You always get talked to like that? He asked carefully. She shrugged. It's worse when customers aren't around. But I need the hours, you know. You always work this fast? She gave a tired smile. If I slow down, I get threatened with fewer shifts. If I keep up, I get ignored. Either way, rinse to. Cameron nodded. That, right there, was why he'd started this company in the first place. People like Kira deserved better. And then came the shouting. Sir, I said you can't come in here like that. They turned toward the front. A security guard stood firm in front of an elderly man in a faded trench coat. The man clutched a small paper list and a few crumpled bills. I'm just here for bread and milk, the man said, voice cracked with age. You've been here before, the guard snapped. You wonder. Don't buy anything. This ain't a lounge. Cameron stood. That true? He asked Kira. She looked down. He's in here sometimes. Never causes trouble. Just slow. I think he's lonely. Cameron didn't wait. He walked toward the entrance. Back to work, Jason, the guard ordered. Cameron met his eyes. No, this is my business. Excuse me, the guard said, brow furrowed. Cameron reached into his wallet and pulled out a sleek, black card, embossed with the Haven Mart logo and his full name. I'm Cameron Wade. I own this store, and I just watched you humiliate a customer for looking poor. Silence fell across the store. Kira's mouth dropped. Malcolm, storming from the back, froze mid-step. The guard's hands dropped. I didn't know. I thought. You thought his coat meant he didn't deserve respect? Cameron's voice was low, firm. You're done. Turn in your badge. The guard looked to Malcolm, searching for backup. None came. Defeated, he slinked away. Cameron turned to the elderly man. What's your name, sir? Daryl, the man said, eyes misting. Didn't mean trouble. You didn't cause any. Get what you need on the house. He turned to Malcolm. Get him whatever he wants. And apologize. Malcolm hesitated. Sorry, sir. Daryl nodded faintly, still stunned. Cameron turned to the watching staff. We'll talk later, after I finish my shift. Then he picked up another box of cereal and went back to work. Later that evening, after most employees had left, Cameron sat in Malcolm's office with a printout of staffing schedules. You didn't report any of this, Cameron said. Malcolm exhaled hard. Didn't think it was worth escalating. We've got theft. That guy's always walking in, wasting time. I'm not running a shelter. Even if that were true, Cameron said slowly, you don't treat people like stray dogs. I'm covering for call-outs with no-shows and 2 cashiers on weekends. I'm stretched thin. And yet you gave yourself an 8-hour office shift last Saturday. No front time. No walkthroughs. You think that's leadership? Malcolm said nothing. Tomorrow, Cameron continued, standing, you're not the manager. You're stocking. 6 hours. No clipboard. I want to see what you actually know. He walked to the door. You've got 1 week to prove you can lead without control, or I'll find someone who can. The next day, Malcolm showed up in jeans and a hoodie, gloves on. Silent. Obedient. Tired. Cameron handed him a pallet list without a word. The store was still understaffed. 1 cashier, Rena, juggled a register and ID checks. Cameron stepped behind her and bagged groceries quietly. When the rush slowed, she leaned over. Thanks, she said. You're doing great, he replied. In the freezer section, a young employee named Jordan was struggling with a faulty cooler. You been handling this one before? Cameron asked. Jordan nodded. 6 months. Compressor whines, but maintenance says it's stable. Keep an eye on it. If it dips, we pull product. No exceptions. By the afternoon, Malcolm's hands were raw. Cameron watched him nick a stack of cans with a box cutter. You didn't check the weight, Cameron said. You assumed. That's how injuries happen. Malcolm didn't reply. Ever stocked before? Cameron asked. Not since I was 19. Got promoted fast. Didn't really learn the floor? That's clear, Cameron muttered and walked away. In the break room, Kira sat eating a sandwich, earbuds in. You've been opening and closing back-to-back, Cameron said. Yeah. Malcolm said it helps continuity. You ever ask for that? She shook her head. You trained anyone recently? 2. 1 stayed. 1 quit after 3 days. Why? They think it's just groceries. But it's 3 departments alone, no support, and public humiliation if you mess up. If it were different, if you had support, would you stay? Grow. She hesitated. I'd lead. But not like him. I'd give people a reason to stay. Good, Cameron said. I'll send you something tonight. I want your input. She blinked. You're serious? He just nodded and walked out. That evening, Darryl returned. Small list in hand. No one stopped him. Didn't expect to see you again, he told Cameron. I said I'd be around. It feels different today. People, look up when they talk. That's the goal. Then came a crash from the back. A shelf had collapsed. Cans spilled across the concrete. Malcolm stood nearby, clutching his shoulder. You okay? Cameron asked. Caught the rack. I'm fine. You set this rack? 2 days ago. Thought it was locked. This is what happens when rushing becomes normal. Corners get cut. People get hurt. Malcolm nodded slowly. You're done for today. Go home. Think about what it means to be responsible for people, not just product. He didn't argue. Later, Cameron pulled Letitia, the assistant manager, aside. You ever think of stepping up? He asked. Not under Malcolm. But if things change. They are. I'm shifting Kira into a trainee role. She'll work under you. Letitia smiled. About time. Within days, Cameron authorized more staffing hours. Letitia built overlapping shift blocks. A new security guard, Andre, was hired directly. You're here to support, not confront, Cameron told him. And if someone needs help, not groceries, you help them. Darryl came in regularly. Always paid. Always bought the same 3 things. One day, he stopped and looked at a new community bench near the entrance. You didn't have to do that, he said. I did, Cameron replied. Because we missed it before. Complaints dropped. Turnover slowed. Morale began to shift. On the last Friday of the month, Cameron gathered the team in the break room. I didn't come to fix you, he said. I came to see what I ignored. He let the silence settle. You've worked under pressure that didn't make you better. It just made you quiet. That's not leadership. That's neglect. And I own that. From now on, accountability goes both ways. You'll get support, structure, and fairness. In return, you raise each other up. No applause. Just quiet nods. As people filed out, Kira lingered. You think the other stores will get what we got? They will, Cameron said. But not from me alone. It's going to take people like you. She nodded. Feels like a lot. It is. That night, Cameron sat in the office reviewing Letitia's staffing plans and Kira's first draft for a new training guide. Fixing a culture wasn't about heroics. It was about presence. He grabbed his jacket, shut off the lights, and stepped into the night. The doors closed behind him, not with a slam, but with a quiet promise. Change had begun, not at the top, but right there on the floor, where it always mattered most.